Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, then hello, I'm Lauren. And in today's video, we're going to be out in the yard. So just being transparent, happy Pie Day. Oh my gosh, today's Pie Day. Don't know if you saw my reel, but go check it out. I made a pizza. The canopy up here is gone because the last time we had bad weather, it ripped it, and then this last time we had the surprise tornado, it completely tore it off and it was hanging. So my husband just took that down. We'll have to replace that in the fall. I mean, not in the fall. We'll have to replace that in a few weeks. It's such a great day. Oh my gosh. My grandpup is about to talk to the neighbor's dog. Hold on. This one right here. Trying to be friendly. I feel like this is where I was. The last time I had really bad weather, it was an unexpected tornado that we did not know was coming through, and it was in the middle of the night. I'll tell you about that more in a little bit. But today, while we're out here, I'm gonna go ahead and I think because the weather's so good and we're supposed to have some more bad weather, stop it please. So I just wanna go ahead and get my seeds down, and just try to figure out the layout of the 2025 spring garden and go from there. I'm gonna do as much as I can. I have a nail appointment at 4:30. Don't know if you can see these, but they're very long and they're very grown out this time. So some part of me, but that's at 4:30. So a part of me was like, why are you going to get your nails done to go play in the dirt? I mean, I can always put on gloves. I prefer not to, but I can't always do that. But then a part of me also was like, you know what? Go and do as much as you can and then go get your nails done. And another reason for everybody who's like, why would you go ahead and put them down? It's gonna rain. I want to go in and put them down because that rainwater does a wonder for new seeds. Like the germination is crazy. So crazy, but we'll talk about that later. So let's hurry up before my phone dies because I want to go ahead and put some stuff down. So let's go. All right, if I have time, I'm gonna go ahead and put these little guys down. These are perennials. They'll come back year after year and they'll just get bigger. And then the tomato, I'm definitely gonna go ahead and put that down today, and some of the seeds. Okay, so today I think I'm gonna focus on just putting something in this bed. So if you're new to gardening, this is what you need to know. Your seeds at the top right hand corner will tell you what the fruit or vegetable is. So like this is an annual. And like I said in my last video, these little guys right here are solely going to be for a time season. That is it. The perennials are the ones that will come back year after year. Typically they're bulbs. All of these are vegetables. And on the back here, you find your state. Okay, you find your state and wherever your state. So I am in Georgia, so my time period for planting this spinach is between January through March, and then again in September through November. You always want to make sure that your seeds are I've gone out about 2 years at the max. Now some people will get organic seeds and some people will just get regular seeds. Sorry y'all, I'm trying to save the bag from rolling around. Some people get organic, some people get just regular. It's up to you. Get what you want to get, but these are the seeds that I get and they always do really well for me. And it also tells you like if they need to be in full sun and then about how many hours. So typically full sun is about 6+ on all the hours. Okay, so that's what you need to keep in mind. Let me see, all of these look like they're full sun. Yep, perfect. So this means do not put them in a cloudy or a shady area. All of these vegetables want to be in complete full sun. So keep that in mind when you're planting. I'm going to do direct sow, which means I'm going to put my seeds directly down into this dirt here. And over the years, my husband and we've just, I guess, cultivated it to become what I need it to be. So he would bring me some dirt, he'd bring me some fertilizers and all the things. He would just put them out here and we would turn this dirt over. And I even have like some coffee pods that I'm gonna take and sprinkle in here too to kind of help. If you have a compost, that's great. That's like unused like scraps of vegetables or fruits that you can put and turn. I do not have a compost. If any of my leaves from anything like my peas or whatever, or my collards, I just take, and I should turn this around. Like I was saying, I do not have a compost, but what I tend to do is I just, if a leaf falls off from like my collards, because that's the only thing that's growing right now, all I do is I just go in, something is on my phone. All I do is just go in and I just drop it to the ground and I let it compost to the ground. So again, do whatever you feel is comfortable. Please watch other videos. You can get other advice, because I should not solely be your person for that. I'm up on the porch. So cucumbers, they are trailers, and so they need something to run on. So if you are planting cucumbers, be mindful of that. You have to, if you do just put them like in a bucket, you probably should put a stake in there as well, so they can trail, because they do run. The zucchini squash and the yellow squash, they tend to grow really tall and really large leaves. So keep that in mind when you're going in and you are planting those. You want to make sure you have the correct distance between those. Every year I always say I'm going to put a tomato cage around mine to help it stay and grow upright, and it never happens. I walk out one day, there's nothing there really, and I walk out the next day and they're huge. It's like, great, I missed my opportunity. So I may try to do that again this year, but I got to get the cages on super early if I do. And again, this is trial and error. The peas, they typically need a little trailing space as well, but more so vertically rather than horizontal. So if you're going to do that, I would recommend like putting a stake at the end, at the beginning of the row and the end of the row, and then getting some twine to help them trail up your vine. The bunching onions, I've never had success with these. I don't know why. I always get them every single year. My cousin actually asked me to grow her some onions. And so, Bree, if you're watching, I got your onions. But I have had more success with the bigger bulbed onions, the yellow onions. But I don't know. So I can't give you a whole lot of advice on those, because again, I haven't had success. But again, the pack on the back there, it will tell you how deep you need to plant them. And then so this says looks like 3 inches apart. So just keep that in mind when you're planting. And you don't want to plant your seeds too deep, because if you plant them too deep, I've noticed that they will not grow. They'll just rot. So they have to be up to the surface just enough, but they have to also be just the right amount of depth where they won't wash away when it rains. Broccoli is pretty easy to do. Maybe a foot and a half. Let's see what they say. Ooh, they do not say actually. Oh, 1 plant per 12-inch container. So if you're gonna put it in the plant in the pot, but it doesn't say how much apart. Again, I'm kind of like an abuser of the seeds, if you will. I just sprinkle them in, and whichever is the strongest, he stays, and which ones are the weakest, I pull them and just toss them to the side. But I think this year what I may do, I don't know if you guys can see me, but I think this year what I may do is I may actually, instead of pulling them to the side to get rid of them, I just may pull them to the side and put them in a different area so they can go ahead and continue to grow, and then put them down for succession planting later. But the good thing about these seeds too is that it tells you how many days you have before you harvest. It tells you the depth. It tells you the space. Oh, there it is. So it says 16 inches. And then it'll tell you if it's container friendly or not. So if you do not have like a yard where you can directly sow like myself, and you want to do container garden, well, here you go. These are container friendly, and it tells you that you can put 1 plant in per 12-inch container. So that's pretty neat too. So like for instance, the broccoli, I can't plant this until September to November, but I went ahead and got it now, because in that time frame I may or may not be able to find the seeds. So I guess now we'll probably need to go and look at all of these and see which one. So looks like we can definitely plant the spinach, the bunching onions, the peas, zucchini, yellow and the yellow squash and the zucchini, and then we can also plant the cucumbers now. But the broccoli, maybe start this in a greenhouse if you have it, or inside somewhere where you can start it as seed and let it grow up to be a more mature transplant. But right now, this is way too early for it. This is also part of, if I'm not wrong, if I'm wrong, somebody correct me, because on this channel we're learning together. But I think this is part of the brassica family. And the brassicas are the winter cold weather that can sustain being in a little bit of a cold. So that's probably why this. If I were to plant broccoli now, it probably wouldn't do well because it's going to be so hot, and it'd just be pointless to plant that. Something else too that I want to share with you guys is that when I first started doing my gardening, it was like so the squash, for instance, because this is the one I have in my hand. And so for my state, it says that I can plant between February and October. And initially I would just, I got to get them all in the ground by October. Well, when it started to get towards like maybe June or July, I didn't have as much produce anymore. And it was primarily because I planted everything then, and all those plants that did what they were going to do. And so I didn't get any more produce. So that's when your succession planting starts. So be mindful of when you plant things. Keep a calendar, write it down, and say, okay, I planted this in February. Well, we're in March. I planted this in March. Here comes the sun again. I planted this in March, and so now what I'm going to do is I am going to definitely try to do another row maybe in like September time. So the moral of the story is, don't feel like you have to use all of your seeds, because you do not. I learned that the hard way. That's it with all of that. I don't know what time it is. Let me look. It may be time for us to go get our nails done. Hold on. Okay, guys, so we are done. I'll keep saying we. I didn't even bring y'all in. I'm sorry. But when I got off to check the time, it was like time for me to go ahead and head on. And so what I did was, okay, so I keep saying we, but I didn't even bring you guys along. Basically, I checked the time and I was like, oh, I need to be there now. So I just jumped in the car and came in. But I got them cut down, and this is the new color. I don't know if you can see it. She said it matches your shirt, but it is a pretty, the prettiest blue, like a periwinkle maybe, and it has little sparkles in it. I'll get you guys a better video in just a little bit, or a better picture in just a little bit. So let's go home, put some gloves on, and dig in some dirt. Back from the nail salon and back in the yard. Yes, I just got my nails done, and I am about to dig in the dirt, but it is life. All right, let me show you guys my nails. Here they are. All right, let's get in this bed. Put this tomato in here. And this is so funny. These shoes I left them out all year. Yes, I have on some hard socks, but I left them in the sun all that time, and these jokers shrunk up. Like, they're just a little bit small. I can still fit them, but they're definitely a little snugger than last year. All right, so this is what I do. I take and I do this, and I'm trying to do this quick because it looks like the clouds like are coming in. But I take and this is where I want to put it. So I just take and dig down pretty far so the root system can get a good attachment. And then I loosen this up. Save this, because if you're doing more seed starts, this is a good house. And when I first started off, I used to make like really cute tags because I didn't know what anything was. And now that I'm semi a gardener, because I don't say I'm professional, I don't say I'm a gardener yet, but I don't need the tags anymore because I can tell by their foliage. So what I do is I put them down in there, and to be perfectly honest, I'm not going to give this one a drink because I know, well, probably am. I'm going to give it a good drink. But because I know it's supposed to rain, but be the way things go, the weather may shift and it may not rain or whatever. So I'm just going to put that in there. All right, so I pack it in real good like that. And that's it. So got the tomato in there. I think I'm gonna do one more over here, the salad tomatoes, and this is the sandwich tomatoes. Okay, that's it. Okay guys, so I think I've shared this before, but our deck used to run all the way to the end. It was like double the size it is now. And so when we had that bad weather, my husband just redid this portion. But now we're thinking about building out just this particular space. This was where my first garden was in 2020. This little bit of space from this corner to that corner, back to where the water hose was. This was my first garden. And now it's filling back in with grass and everything, and I have some few perennial plants that are in there, but I'm thinking about putting these two somewhere right here to give the yard some color. And that monkey grass right there, I planted these in last year just like to act as a border. And this is another item that you cannot, if you wanted to try, you cannot get rid of it in your yard because think you get it up and then it's traveled over to that spot. But this is easy if you're new to gardening and want to be able to keep something alive. That's easy. These are perennials, and I'm thinking about putting them here along the side of my flower bed here. I don't want to put too much over in that area because I don't want it to be overcrowded. There's a lot of things in there and I just got to wait for them to come up. So I got to get these in somewhere, but I'm not really quite sure where just yet. Thinking here, I'm gonna have to play around with it and see. Hold on. Hey guys, this is what I did. I put these down. This is dianthus because I will forget, so I have to put that on camera. Let me zoom in. Just put these. This is my front flower bed. And then this is amaryllis. I have several of these, but this particular one was in my rehab department. My cousin brought it over because it was dying and she needed me to bring it back to life, but she never came back and got it. So I think it's unofficially mine. Beaky, if you're watching, let me know. The purple hearts are coming up. This is Forthenia. It is so pretty. It only blooms once though, and once it's done, that's it. It's kind of done with, but it's so pretty. So Marie from A Forborn Life gave me this many years ago when it was, golly, maybe just one teensy little piece. And yeah, so that's it. But it starts off with these pretty little green leaves, and then they become yellow. It is so pretty when you first come into the yard. And so let's see, here's another amaryllis that my neighbor across the street gave me, and she says, I can't wait for them to come up. I really enjoyed looking out of my window to see your flower bed in the front. These are moms from years past, and they'll grow to be nice and pretty like we buy them during the fall, and they'll get their little blooms. But during the summertime and spring and summertime, they are green. So don't throw those moms away. Just put them down in the ground and they'll come back year after year. And if you do not have a personal yard, put them in a bucket. More purple hearts that I brought from all over the backyard. some canna lilies. These will come up. I think some of them are yellow, some of them are pink. And yeah, that's it. This is another purple heart. I'm not purple heart, another amaryllis. So my neighbor gave me two. She gave me one. I have a white one in the back. I have two reds, and my other neighbor who does gardening, he gave me one as well. So look, this is what we're looking like so far. Everything's starting to bloom. Ignore the fact that we need to put out new pine straw because that is definitely coming, but not this weekend due to weather. This is a pretty large bed. Don't go so far. Come here. Nope. Come back. You're too far away. Too close to the street. But yeah, that is it. All right. So let me show you what I did in the back. So I almost killed my fern again, but it's coming back nice now. All this was pretty and green, but with that last little cold frost, I didn't cover it, and of course it burned it. I put the hyacinth bulbs in here, and in these two. This is so funny because I almost thought it grew, but I just did enough where it could go, still peek up through the top. I don't want to cover it too much. I'm not familiar with these, so I don't know how deep they really need to go, but they're in there. And then when they're ready, I will transfer them to this flower bed. And then there's the tomato that I gave a little drink of water. But that's it. That is it for today. Well guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys got some inspiration, if you got some motivation to get up, get out there and plant something. I don't care what it is, just plant something. Go for it. If you make a mistake, it's okay, because guess what? There's always a experience from the mistakes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Thank you to all the new subscribers, and thank you for the subscribers who are continue to stick around. I will talk to you guys in the next one, but remember, if you're not living life with lawn, then you're missing out. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.